finish.
So I would like to say thank you for Eduardo Miranda and his team for this wonderful opening for a music and art night of Symmetry Festival in Kristóf Fenyvesi on behalf of the International Symmetry Association. And I'm very, very happy and honored to welcome you all in our music and art night here in the Hungarian Cultural Center in Vienna. This is a beautiful space for music and art, and we have a beautiful art exhibition actually on the first floor, what we're going to open in the form of a dialogue. And afterwards, there will be some wine tasting and beautiful reception on downstairs, and then the concerts will continue. And we will have similar programs tomorrow. So then we will take a journey from the future also to the past, but there will be also genetic music and many kind of different interdisciplinary approaches to musical culture and music. But now my great pleasure is to introduce you to curator of the art exhibit, Dárdai Zsuzsa Dárdai, art critic from Hungary. And I would like to ask her to say some words about the exhibit, what we're going to see tonight.
Én most magyarul fogok beszélni, a Magyar Kulturális Intézetben vagyunk.
We are in the Hungarian Cultural Center, so maybe you forgive to Zsuzsa that she will give her talk in Hungarian. You can enjoy the rhythm of Hungarian language, the music of Hungarian language, and I will try my best to translate her words.
És nem sokáig fogom ezt a gyönyörű nyelvet most hangoztatni, csak szeretném én is köszönteni a jelenlévőket, szeretném megköszönni a Magyar Kulturális Intézetnek, hogy befogadta a rendezvényünket, és ezt a különleges kiállítást ajánlom az önök figyelmébe, amelyet a megnyitó után közösen megnézünk az első emeleten.
Zsuzsa is very thankful for the Hungarian Cultural Institution for hosting this exhibit. Those who are regularly or often visiting Symmetry Festivals know that the art exhibit and musical performances are a usual part of our program, but we are always very happy when we can bring our beautiful exhibitions in this kind of beautiful spaces and beautiful places like Vienna and the Cultural Center.
Minden 3 évben, amikor Symmetry Festival van, itt többen már ismerjük egymást, akkor a Symmetry Festival kongresszusához, konferenciához kapcsolódóan Darvas Györggyel folyamatosan szervezünk művészeti eseményeket. Ez a mai művészeti esemény zenéből és képzőművészetből áll. A képzőművészeti részt azt általában én és a férjem SAXON Szász szervezzük, és hát a Gyurival rengeteget dolgoztunk ezért a gyönyörű kiállításért is, és még annyit tennék hozzá, hogy nagyon nagy szeretettel köszöntöm a jelenlévő művészeket, mert úgy magyar, osztrák, amerikai, szlovák, és nem tudom, még bocsánatot, hogy kihagyok, különböző nemzetiségű művészeket, orosz művészeket köszöntünk itt ma este együtt. Köszönöm a figyelmet, én átadom a szót.
So it has been a great tradition in Symmetry Festivals about hosting the art and music events, and this tradition was started by our honorary chairman, Professor György Darvas, who is here. And, we would like to say thank for the whole festival and bringing this community of lovers of symmetry from all over the world in every third year on different spots, different points of the globe. And it's also a very great pleasure to welcome also the artists. So not only the musicians are here to perform you, but also here to artists whom you can meet and discuss about the exhibited pieces if you want. And Symmetry Festival's always been here, such kind of events, where we were not only talking about the phenomena of symmetry, but also would like to show present on an experience-oriented way the symmetry as we know and as we research and as we enjoy and as we live.
Még egy dolgot
One more sentence.
Mégpedig azt, hogy sokat beszélünk a szimmetriáról, de ez a kiállítás most elsősorban egy nagyon különleges témáról, a non-euclidean geometriáról, a görbült terekről, a gravitációs hullámokról szól, és mint ilyen a világon az első.
So it's also a tradition that there are scientific thoughts, theorems connected with art pieces, for example, and artistic representations. And this year's topic is the non-Euclidean geometry and non-Euclidean spaces, non-Euclidean surfaces. And in its kind, most probably this is the first art exhibition on the world on non-Euclidean geometry and non-Euclidean art, if I may say so. So thank you very much. Great pleasure. I feel very good tonight that I have a very pleasurable time here to also introduce you Professor Richard Kriesche from Graz, who I don't need to introduce him, but just for the tradition I tell that he's a media artist and also an art theorist, a well-known art theorist. And also my pleasure to introduce László Beke, art historian from Hungary, from Budapest, and I let them to dialogue, to talk about what we're going to see upstairs in some minutes. The floor is yours.
Good night, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you that you are here. Thank you that we could be here. Thanks for everybody, especially to the house. The director of the house is Mrs. Maria Molnár, who made the occasion to be here. Our role is to present the exhibition, which is open. I hope you will enjoy it. The keyword of this exhibition are, as told several times, symmetry, non-Euclidean spaces. I would add black holes. For me, maybe the most fascinating thing is black hole, and color or pigment or material or whatever, black. Because I confess you, at the end, I don't know what is black. Maybe you know. Okay. Next page. That we are here by Richard Kriesche, my friend. We met first in our life in 1970 in Graz, where I was first time in Austria to give a lecture about abstract art and avant-garde art, and he was there with his real first media art exhibition, I think not only in Austria, but in Europe. And this media art exhibition consisted of videos, a lot of videos, Polaroids, and loops, bringing information about acoustic field, music, wrong and wrong and wrong. And then, and a big step today, meanwhile, he made a lot of things for the world. In Berlin, in Germany, he got a degree of professor, doctor. He is an exhibition artist. a media artist and my friend. Thinks he will think, thank you very much, which was told before, it was not interesting, so I start with love. So, Richard, what about we speak now?
It's a big honor to be here and to be invited to talk to you. But let me tell you, because we met, as you heard, 50 years ago, and a week ago, László said, Richard, are you going to Vienna? I said, yes, I will go to see this exhibition because you made a mail, and I thought, okay, I've never been here. Curators, yes. You know, so difficult with the names. I thought you are upstairs. And so László said, okay, it's great that you're here and we have to come to meet you. And so I asked László right now, László, tell me, what should I do here? Because I haven't seen the exhibition yet. I just walked through. And so I know a little bit about symmetry, but I know the program about, 100 years of Einstein and stuff like that. But László explained the works of the artists, and so the best thing, he should talk about the artists, and I would then introduce you about ideas which may be following the ways of artists' work in this field. And to give you an example of what interests me is the connection and the relation of the arts beyond the arts. You know, just go beyond the arts. And so I tried to go to separate fields. So as you are going to science spaces, as László said, we're going beyond the abstraction, we got into media space. So different artists going beyond the different fields, and that makes our relation so beautiful, because we're talking more or less about the art, but we're going beyond the strict business of what's normally called the art. Now I'll give you a last example. Today, it happened that I walked in a gorgeous space. It's incredible. You should go there. It's an exhibition of Kriesche, and it's a space in the Rheingasse. It's Palais Schönburg. And if you go in this space, you will be surprised, not by the art of Kriesche you might know, but in which environment this art is being exhibited. So we're not talking about this kind of art, we're going to go beyond Palais Schönburg. So we're going into the works of the artists dealing with science, dealing with abstraction, dealing with fantasy, dealing with ideas, and we try, or let me say, I will try to follow your ideas.
Richard told what's happening beyond the art. Maybe as a misunderstanding by me, but I accept this as a very positive misunderstanding, because phenomenology, a philosophical branch, very close to the art, is interesting what is beyond the surface. What is beyond the art? And it's my favorite philosophical science. But, of course, the artist not always interested in the deepness. They are working on the surface, because he thinks that in the surface they can explain everything which is behind. And if you don't believe me, later at the exhibition, I will there for your service to explain each works, how they function, and also how they function for the service of the science. Maybe scientists will one day understand artists. Do you think I'm right?
See, there are two different systems. The art system is the, as we understand the artist, woman or man artist, it's the so-called one-person production. Of course, there are some group of artists, but science doesn't function as one science. It's always going beyond this one idea of having Einstein. You know, there are labs, fantastic labs. You have to find the guy or the woman who has the invention. So it's all completely very, very different. And if an artist in, let's say, in my field is going into the field of science, so most of the science are completely disinterested what artists are doing. They just be happy to be in response to the artist and say, you know, in a very traditional way about images on the wall and what they have learned. I give you an example. A woman working at the university hospital, and she came to me as we did a kind of exhibition where you participated with your text. This exhibition was entitled Science, Art and Communication. So it was a very huge exhibition. And she has heard about what we are doing, and she came, dropped in and said, Mr. Kriesche, I'm very interested in the arts, and I have some papers, I have some images, and can I participate? And said, no, let's have a look at it. And she dropped the paper, and I said, Mrs. Professor, I'm sorry, but what you're showing, we have dropped years ago in the arts. We have done that, elaborate. It's not the business of today's art. And she said, now what you're doing, what do you mean? I said, let's talk about what you're doing. She's a genetic engineer, and said to her, why don't we work on the genetics and think about what you are doing, and they'll go into that and have a look instead of just working at the science level. Let's think about or work about what's going beyond your science, that you love the aesthetics of your work. And she said to me, I have a friend of mine, we are just working on a research, European research on hemophilia. And I said, that's great, why don't you work on that? And we had no money at all, but we had a program, and this program was elaborated, and finally we ended up, I don't want to make a big statement, but we ended up in a value going beyond just the research. We have shown that in this DNA there are properties which have not been shown beyond the science level. So we moved from the science level and the art level, and we found out different relationships. And finally, what happened? They are so proud to have worked on the science level and going from the science into the arts. And that's, in my opinion, the way artists have to go beyond what's going on in the arts, so they go to different levels. And it needn't be science. It can be everything else if it's going into real life. So science is just one part of an level of reality.
So it was so beautiful, these last sentences.
that even it could be the real last sentences. However, I continue and underline that I am not a scientist, but who are you? Because speaking so, I know that you are an artist, but also I know that you are a scientist. Are you both, or are you in between? Where are you positioning yourself?
See, maybe not at all.
Very seriously.
No, I don't know one of all of them, because first of all, I'm not a scientist. Second, I dropped the business of being an artist because I dropped out of the art business. I went into beyond what I was talking about. I went beyond the art. And what's the idea? As long as you follow, and therefore I talked about the Uka exhibition, that's the art as people believe what art is. So if I go upstairs, most of the people will think it's art. It's just a kind of craft. If I talk about the calendar, which one artist made, or I talk about the ellipse of two dots in the ellipse, which is your work, yeah? And it needn't be especially being an artist. You know, it could be something, everything, you know, it could be a plate of whatever. Some people get fantasy, but don't go into that what you intend to show. So it's always going in the arts to going beyond the arts. So you have, if you are in the arts, you are being accepted. You are just the artist, and then they call you, according to your behavior, you must be an artist because you behave so differently than the normal people. But the normal has become the art in itself. So if you find a way to go beyond what's being accepted as the arts, so normally, if you talk about symmetry, no one would, like Professor, no one would think we're talking about the arts. So therefore it's interesting that we're talking in the arts about symmetry, because symmetry is just not a business of the artist. It's just in there, it's normal. But you're in your exhibition going beyond the normal understanding what symmetry might be. So symmetry normal is a business of physics, about on the high level, about mathematics, but not the arts. It's on the arts. It's a very simple, low-level discussion forum.
Maybe you understand that we are going round and round and round, but in each round we become a little bit more serious, more concrete, and more deep. Now, I try to finish and to put my last question. So, you mentioned two artists from the exhibition. One is Anna Farkas, who made a calendar for the year of 1916 and a calendar which is exactly for Vienna, for each day, for each month, and so on. And it does function. Another one is for Budapest, another one from Beijing, and he had two international red dot from New York. A second example, Magda Chudak, living in Vienna, whom I am convinced, if I understand it, she is working on the level not only the form of an ellipsis, but on the surface material and molecular and deeper surface material of the different sort of carbon and so on. Is a scientific discovery what she is doing. Now my question, in in Austria, these were no questions, these were declarations, not proof. But now in Austria is the one of the most powerful institutions in the world, Ars Electronica in Linz. Nobody could deny that this is very powerful, very important for the science, technology, media, communication, and art, and experiential art, and so on. Who decide? Who can enter on the sanctified places of Ars Electronica? Who decided? This is my last question.
If I understand you, who decided to create Ars Electronica?
No? Who decided to be invited to...
To be invited, okay. It's very simple. Those people at the Ars Electronica make research all over the world, and they make a big competition, and it's one of the most important prizes an artist can receive in the media or technology or even science. And so this is being, circled globally. And in this invitation, of course, only a few can get the prize. But you will be invited. I wasn't a jury there, and so we decided who's going to go to Nika and stuff like that. But we got a lot of people, artists, who might be much better than those who got the gold Nika. But they then getting a letter of invitation and participation and so on, that tons of people, really tons of people mail to be part in the next exhibition, even if they don't know what the exhibition in its title is. So if, let's say, they made one exhibition entitled, like this here, Microbiology in the Arts, and so virtual life in the arts, or whatever. So people do mail, and you should, if one of you is interested, just mail to the Ars Electronica, and perhaps you go for one in this September. You go to the Ars Electronica, you will see what's going on there at different places, in the Ars Electronica itself, the OK building. So it's very open and not restricted.
Thank you very much. And this was the real last words before opening the exhibition. And now officially and solemnly open the exhibition upstairs. Enjoy. Thank you.
After the very last sentence, please, if you have 1 more minute, I would like to call on stage Viennese artist whom we are very, very thankful, Renate Rehenberger, whose book about quantum cinema, digital vision, just appeared in this very day. And we would like to say thanks for her. Please, Renate, come here. And thank you. And my colleague, Professor Larry Good, on behalf of the Executive Board of International Symmetry Association. So you can look, I have symmetric microphones. One microphone goes to Larry, and please.
It's the second day of the conference. I'm already excited. I'm learning about art. new ideas in polyhedra, in music, in biology, in tapestry, in weaving. And Renata Vanberger has designed the cover of this issue of Symmetry, Culture, and Science, and the back cover. She has another design in some of the other issues, the title page, also on the poster, also on the website. One of the gentlemen there was talking about the influence of art on science. Maybe the scientists will understand some of the art. And I'm looking forward to Renata's presentation at a panel on Friday. She's going to be talking about the influence of relativity in the arts. So I want to thank Renata for all her great work, very creative. And she has something to consider upstairs too.
Tomorrow, because then we also should have a projection of the 5-dimensional space cells. Have a nice
Thank you so much, Renata. Please enjoy. Thank you.